Have you ever stood in front of your closet, your hand touching a beautiful piece of clothing, only to pull back, worried it's no longer age appropriate? You're not alone in feeling that. It's because there's an unspoken rule that so many of us women over 60 have been taught to feel. A rule about what we should and shouldn't wear. And at the very top of that shouldn't list are usually two things: sheer blouses and shorter skirts. But really, who wrote those rules? And why do we still believe we have to follow them? What if I told you that these aren't forbidden items, but are actually the secret weapons of modern elegance? In today's video, we're not just going to break those rules. We're going to rewrite them, starting with the one piece we've been told is off limits: the sheer blouse. Alright, let's start with what might be the most feared item in the back of our closets: the sheer blouse. You know, before we even talk about how to wear one, let's be honest with each other about why we hesitate. It isn't really about our skin, is it? It goes a little deeper than that. There was a fascinating insight in the New York Times style section that really stuck with me. It found that for many of us women over 60, we're more worried about the judgment of others than we are about our own bodies. That's the invisible fence that keeps us in our comfort zone. So, this conversation we're having today, it isn't about being revealing. This is an invitation for us to redefine what elegance means on our own terms. And for me, elegance isn't about hiding, it's about choosing what to reveal with grace and intention. It reminds me of something the ever-graceful Helen Mirren once said. I don't dress to look younger. I dress to feel like myself, which sometimes happens to make me look younger than ever. Isn't that a wonderful way to think about it? The secret to that feeling. The real key to making a sheer blouse look magnificent isn't the blouse itself. It's its silent partner, the piece you wear underneath. To get it right, I always follow a simple little rule I call the 3 C's. The first, and most important, is comfort. The piece underneath must feel gentle on your skin. It should let you move freely, with no fuss, no pulling. Because when we are truly comfortable, confidence just naturally follows. The second C is color. This is where you tell your story. A camisole in the exact same shade creates a seamless, elegant look. It's a whisper of allure, not a shout. But if you're feeling a bit more modern, a simple tank top in a contrasting color, like black under white, can make a beautiful graphic statement. And the final C is confidence. This is the result of the first two. It's choosing the piece you can put on and then simply forget about, because you know it looks and feels just right. I remember I was invited to an outdoor concert on a beautiful, breezy day. I chose a white chiffon blouse with a simple cream-colored camisole. And as the breeze floated by, I had a realization. No one was staring at my blouse. They just saw a woman enjoying the day, looking bright and feeling at ease. When you feel comfortable, my dear friends, others only see grace. So, I'd love to ask you, have you ever let a beautiful piece just sit in your closet because you were afraid of that little voice saying it wasn't age appropriate? Do you think it might be time to wear it just for you? When you start to feel that little spark of courage from mastering your layers, something magical happens. You realize it's not just about clothes anymore. It's about reclaiming a part of yourself. And that bravery leads us to its equally misunderstood partner, the short skirt, or, as I prefer to call it, the confidence skirt. Let's call it that, because that's exactly how it should make you feel. At New York Fashion Week, I heard designers talking about a wonderful idea. The length of a skirt isn't measured in inches. It's measured in confidence. And this isn't just a fantasy. Market reports show that the modern classic fashion sector for women 55 and over has grown by over 20% in the last 2 years. So, you see, we aren't behind the times. We are right in the heart of a beautiful, timeless trend. The secret to finding your own confident skirt is all about fabric and fit. If you are pear-shaped, an A-line skirt is your best friend. If you have a straighter figure, a pencil skirt in a fabric with a little stretch can give you a lovely shape. And if you're a bit fuller in the middle, a structured fabric like a good tweed works wonders. Here's a little stylist trick I love. Think of your body in thirds. The perfect length often creates a pleasing proportion of 2/3 covered up and 1/3 leg. It creates a visual harmony that is so pleasing to the eye. I want to share a quick story about my dear friend Linda. We were shopping, and she picked up this lovely olive tweed skirt. It was the perfect length, just above the knee. She hesitated. I encouraged her to just try it for fun. When she walked out of the dressing room and saw herself in the mirror, she froze for just a second. And then she smiled. It wasn't a polite, "Oh, that's nice" smile. It was pure rediscovery. That little sparkle in her eyes said it all. She hadn't changed. She had simply remembered who she was. So tell me, Zar, when was the last time you put something on and had that "there I am" feeling? And if you had to describe your own confident skirt in 3 words, what would they be? And that, my friends, is where the real beauty of style after 60 begins. Not in following rules, but in rewriting them, one beautiful outfit at a time. You know, all this talk is one thing, but I find that a good story is what really helps the heart believe. I think every one of us has had that moment, standing in front of a mirror, wondering if we can still pull something off. Maybe it was before a dinner, a family event, or just one of those mornings when the mirror feels like an old friend asking, "Do you still see yourself?" And if you've ever felt that way, I'd like to tell you a little story. It's about my dear friend Susan. At 65, Susan's closet was a beautiful symphony of safe, neutral colors. One afternoon, while we were in a little boutique, she stopped in front of a silk polka dot blouse and a lovely camel-colored A-line skirt. I saw a little light sparkle in her eyes as her hand gently grazed the silk fabric. But just as quickly, it was gone. Her shoulders slumped just a little, and she sighed that familiar sigh. Oh, if only I were 20 years younger. I just looked at her and said softly, "Susan, let's just try it on for fun. No pressure." And when she walked out of that dressing room, she was quiet for a moment. She stood a little taller, her hands smoothing the fabric at her hips. Her eyes softened, then lit up again, like she was seeing an old friend in the mirror. She looked at her reflection, and she told me later, in that moment, I didn't feel like I was trying to be young. I just felt more like myself. She wore that outfit to a tea party that weekend. And it wasn't just about the compliments. She was more engaged. Her laugh was brighter. It was as if the outfit had given her permission to let the wonderful person inside truly shine. You know, there's a name for this. Fashion psychologists call it enclothed cognition. a great outfit can act as a kind of soft armor, boosting our confidence from the inside out. According to a 2022 study from the Journal of Experimental Social Psychology, women reported feeling up to 40% more confident in social settings when wearing clothes they personally associated with positive emotions. It reminds me of what Iris Apfel said, "Fashion you can buy, but style you possess." And style, my friends, is just confidence showing on the outside. So let me ask you, if you could try one style you've been hesitant about, what would it be? A certain color? A style of dress? Susan's story is such a beautiful reminder that sometimes all it takes is a little bit of courage to meet the most wonderful version of ourselves again. So, if Susan could find that spark in a dressing room, how can we bring that into our own lives? Because after all, fashion only truly comes alive when it meets real life. When it walks with us through the coffee dates, quiet evenings, and everything in between. Let's paint a picture of how this inspiration can look. First, let's imagine a beautiful, sunny morning at your favorite coffee shop. You're there, wearing a soft floral chiffon blouse over a simple white camisole. The breeze from the open door brushes lightly against your sleeve, and for a moment, you realize how good it feels to be both comfortable and put together. You've paired it with your favorite confidence skirt in a comfortable dark wash denim. On your feet are a pair of lovely soft leather loafers. You're laughing with a friend, feeling completely at ease and utterly chic. That is the perfect balance of feminine and grounded. And that's how fashion can bring us joy, not by changing who we are, but by helping us celebrate who we are. Now, let's picture a special evening out. Imagine the soft golden lights of a theatre lobby, reflecting gently on your beautiful black organza blouse. There's a quiet hum in the air, a mix of music and laughter. And you feel that familiar thrill of being exactly where you're meant to be. The blouse has a little bit of drama in the sleeves, worn over a matching black camisole, and paired with a classic tweed pencil skirt that has a subtle metallic thread running through it. The finishing touches are classic kitten heels, a small clutch, and a timeless strand of pearls. This look is what the fashion world calls refined comfort. It isn't about being loud or showy. It's about a quiet, powerful confidence that comes from a woman who truly knows herself. Take a moment and picture yourself there. Which version of you do you see smiling back? So if you had to choose, which would you try first? The bright, elegant daytime look, or the sophisticated, glamorous evening look? I would love to hear your thoughts in the comments below. No matter which you choose, my friends, the most important thing is the feeling of joy and confidence it brings you. Because that truly is what real style is all about. It's not about turning back time, it's about letting your time shine through you. Perhaps this is a good moment to just pause and ask ourselves, so, at the end of the day, what have we really discovered? That elegance after 60 isn't about following some old dusty rulebook. It's about understanding the language of fabric and fit, so you can tell your own style story. Maybe this specific style isn't for everyone, and that is perfectly okay. But please don't ever let a number on the calendar be the reason you stop exploring. True beauty isn't about looking younger. It's about feeling more like yourself than ever before. And our conversation doesn't have to end here. Because really, style is a journey, not a destination. If what we talked about today resonated with you, Please subscribe and become a part of this community of women who are all choosing to live with elegance, confidence, and joy. Hitting that like button lets me know you'd like more conversations just like this one. And I would truly love to read your thoughts in the comments below. Because at any age, we deserve to shine. On our own terms.